There's a track by Fred Again and Swedish House Mafia called Turn on the Lights Again. It's a remix of a song by Future. Anyway, it's got this really cool lead synth sound. Lord knows my channel ain't big enough for a copyright strike, so I'm going to play you a clip of it, but in a teeny weeny little portion. I want to attempt to remake that woo 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 kind of sound in order to make me a better music man. Seems like it would be a reasonably simple sound, yet it's super emotional and impactful, whether you're listening in your car, a club, or your crappy little Temu headphones. I think it's probably something like a single oscillator and maybe some spatial effects. But it's kind of beautiful to have such a simple sound carry so much emotional weight, as opposed to my normal sound design, which is like multiple oscillators, multiple LFOs, a ton of effects, and sounds like shit. To isolate the sound, I'm using Ableton's stem separation thingy, which let me split out the vocals from the other kind of music stuff. It's done a really fantastic job of isolating the part of the track where Future sounds like he's opening a can of Diet Coke. We all love that part. Really, who would Future be if it wasn't for his signature can opening sound? The sound that we care most about is nestled in this sort of noisy chaos here. But I think that's enough for us to be able to work out the core components of the sound. It sounds to me just like a simple sine wave. When we analyze the frequencies of that sound, you can see it sort of bends between notes. It starts with like an F here and then goes up to an A. So that sound is probably using portamento, which is a fancy Italian word for noise goes up and down. Wow, those Italians really thought of everything. The spectral analysis also helps us work out the notes for the melody. And I kind of just YOLO'd the rhythm. For any younger viewers watching this, YOLO means that I'm old. I'm using analog to make this sound because I just need a basic sine wave, at least for now. And I've enabled glide. Listen to how this sounds. Pretty good, right? Like it sounds like it's doing the portamento stuff. But check this out. If I play it one more time, it just doesn't do it anymore. It stopped. I don't know what's going on, but it feels like analog is maybe broken a little bit. I'm really glad that I just made a video talking about how underrated analog is. I don't feel betrayed at all. All right, fuck it, we're going to Serum. Hey look, Serum calls it portamento. Let's get that fixed up. Here we go. Much better. Bit of a low bar though. The original looks like there's at least one octave above the note that we're already playing. So one up. I guess this is A4. This would be A5. That doesn't sound right. Wait, actually there's a ton of layers. So we've got this one, and this one, but there's also some extras up here that are more faint. Maybe we need to use a different waveform. Let's actually try a triangle wave because it's still smooth, but carries with it a lot more harmonics. Cool, we made a chiptune version. Feels like I'm about to lose a Pokemon battle. For my younger viewers watching this, Pokemon is a video game. This envelope sounds totally wrong. It's like way, way too sharp. I've adjusted the envelope to make it sound, I think, a lot more accurate. And I'm using that same envelope to actually just modify the position of the cutoff throughout the sound. I think it's starting to sound a lot more accurate. It is still way too dry though. We need to put it in its own space. The original sound has a huge amount of reverb. It makes it feel like you're in a massive stadium when you're actually probably in some shitty club in the basement of a McDonald's. So let's give it some space. This hall reverb sounds a little too algorithmic for me. I think it needs a real space. Long synth hall? How long is the synth? Oh, that's a pretty big boy synth. And there's at least 10 pixels in this image. It's very generous. I think we've got the core sound, but we're missing the thing that makes the sound. And that, of course, is Fred Again. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Fred Again. Oh wait, no, I don't know him. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen my analytics. You're all dudes. Okay, I guess I'll have to perform like him. Now, this might be a problem. Fred pours his soul into his music. I kind of just do blinky blonks until something sounds cool. Huh. I guess we're actually quite similar in that regard. Fred's performance in this song essentially just comes down to dynamics. Every note isn't quantized. The velocity is different every time he hits a key. But everything he does is very intentional, so we can't just randomize everything. But we do need to have a way of creating this dynamics with the sound that we've been working on. I've added this velocity modifier to both the level of the filter, which is essentially the main out in this case, as well as the start position of the cutoff for the low pass filter. I went through and manually changed the velocity of every single note to make it feel like a more realistic performance. And then I manually adjusted the position of some notes in order to make it sound more human. To be clear, when I say human, I'm not including Fred again in this. He's some sort of musical alien. I think we're pretty damn close. The last thing we are missing is some pumping. It is very important in dance music to always ruin any nice sound with sidechaining. I've added a kick drum behind our sound, and I'm using Shaperbox to pump this sound whenever the kick hits. And with that, we have the Octocap bargain bucket version of Fred again. Let me know what you'd like to see me make next. Not because I don't have any ideas. It's not that at all. I have so many ideas. So many ideas. It's crazy. But yeah, if you could let me know really, really soon, that'd be great.